Good morning. It's Bobby Dupre with the Bobby Dupre Show, presented to you each Thursday morning at 7 a.m. And, of course, the show replays in its entirety on the cable stations Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. Comes on Thursday morning at 7 a.m. That's the original showing of it. And if you want to watch it on your on your computer or any internet device, iPhone, iPad, whatever the case might be, you can watch it shortly after the first showing. Then it's up in the cloud, I guess you could say, and you can retrieve it at any time you want to, or any of the old shows are basically on there. And the photos, there's a photo gallery you can go to. If you want to show somebody a picture, or you want to look at your own picture, you didn't get to watch it on its original showing, you can look it up. Tell them what else they can do. And this is my sidekick here. Let me introduce him so his clock can get started here, clock running. Matt LeBlanc. Matt, tell them a little bit about the computer. Very easy to use, right?
Very easy to use. Just go to www.kdcg.com and you'll see all of our shows right there. You can watch any of them on demand at any time you want. You don't have to wait for it to air. They go on, and you said shortly after it goes on. Actually, your show airs from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. on Thursday morning. At 8:01, it's already up there. It's automated. It goes right on.
And it's also on at 7 a.m.
Oh, it's also on TV, not on the web. No.
Not on the web.
No, at 8 o'clock. Yeah,
at 8 o'clock.
Can't put it on the web until it airs already on TV.
Okay, all right.
So as soon as it ends, it's ready on the web.
All right. See, I was mistaken there.
Yeah.
Confusing
on demand.
My viewers. And we want to thank all of you for saying some nice things about us to your friends. I'll get the word back. And when you see me, you stop me and you thank me for the good news we bring, because we try to stay out of all the controversies, and there are plenty, and maybe it would be more juicy, more interesting to get into some of those, but
you'd
that's
have to
not
do
my style.
24 hours.
Yeah, you're right. And this way here, I don't have to have a bodyguard or an attorney following me like a lot of these big-time show people that get into the controversies. They have to have round-the-clock guard service.
Yeah.
And still, they get kind of injured, and they get the pictures taken by the
paparazzi.
Paparazzis, yes. Well, they're not paparazziing me.
No, you are the paparazzi, the amount of pictures you take.
Well, that's true. Maybe that's what some people feel. But if they tell me, no, I don't want it on there, I'll back off. You know, I don't want any confusion over taking their pictures. Well, let's get right into it with a couple of our good sponsors. Then I've got some good news and good things to talk about.
All right. Well, let's talk about the Medicine Shop with Dirk Andrepont and Liz Andrepont over in Opelousas. And I'm going to pull up their graphic right here so we can see their address. The Medicine Shop is located at 1717 South Union Street in Opelousas. And I was actually there yesterday and talked to Dirk quite a bit. He's got some neat medicine packaging that he demonstrated it to me yesterday. And it takes all the guesswork out of finding your medications. It's all packaged for you in these little individual blister packs that you tear off. It really intuitive, very easy to use. He shows people how to use it, and he's great.
When you get older, you get kind of confused.
Well,
did I take
absolutely.
all of them? Did I take those
that
seven
happens
that I have to
more
take?
than you think.
I know it.
So Dirk will get you all set straight with that, and they offer shingles and pneumonia shots and a large selection of diabetic supplies. They got a whole mess of diabetic supplies out there. And he told me to bring this to you. The Medicine Shop, healthy seaseaning.
Right, and
how about that?
And he sells it, and of course it's packaged by our
Targill.
next sponsor, Targill, and it's packed and blended by Targill Seasonings for the Medicine Shop. It can be for you too.
That's
if you
right.
Go over to Targill, they can help you. Would you?
What Dirk wanted me to say also is that all new customers at the Medicine Shop are going to get a bottle of seasoning also. So go see him at the Medicine Shop. Get your bottle of seasoning.
Low salt, no MSG.
Healthy seasoning.
Healthy seasoning.
And that just goes to show you that Targill seasoning, butcher supplies, cutlery, and kitchen supplies can blend any kind of seasoning that you need. You go in there with your recipe, You show them what you want, tell them what you want. They'll help you out with it. They'll blend it for you. I mean, they did this nice, healthy, low salt, no MSG seasoning for Dirk over at the Medicine Shop, and they can do that for you too. And it's very, very nice. And Dirk, you know, Dirk's got a price tag on this of $2.49. So that tells you right there, it doesn't cost much to get this done, because you know, for a bottle of seasoning right here, you can't even buy it in the store for that. No. So if Dirk can sell it for that price, that means he's getting it at a very, very good price. So go see him over at Targill Seasoning Butcher Supplies. And you can check him out online at www.targill.com. And we got one more we want to throw in there. Let's talk about Piggly Wiggly, our good friends over at Piggly Wiggly, and you can check them out online at www.gotothepig.com. They've got locations in Opelousas and Simsport. All your grocery needs, great meat department. They cut their meat fresh there daily. So go see them in Opelousas, 2 locations on the north side or the south side. Gotothepig.com. Check out all their weekly specials.
Mother's Day was this past weekend, and there's 2 things that get a lot of attention on Mother's Day, and that's the restaurants. It's the busiest day of the year, Mother's Day is, and the barbecue pits are lit up, and of course,
Mom was doing.
You can get all your barbecue needs at our friends over at Piggly Wiggly in Opelousas, 2 locations, as you said, 1 in Simsport, and Mother's Day, the Daily Advertiser ran pictures of the mothers of employees that worked there. And I saw that big smile on Herman Fuselier Jr. That's his mama, Miss Matilde. And that's the smile she carried with her. They were our backdoor neighbors, or we were their backdoor neighbors, whatever
door, the way the door faced.
In other words, our fence line separated our properties. And Matilde really was a great neighbor. Every now and then she'd offer some of us young boys a little glass of water, a cold drink or something like that. She'd see us playing in the yard. And of course, she had 2 sons, Herman Fuselier Jr., who is sports editor, and no, not sports editor at the Advertiser. He's entertainment and music editor for the Daily Advertiser. And he has done a great job of keeping up with all types of music, not just Zydeco, the big in the, what's the,
well, traditional, the Cajun, and
the Cajun, and then
folk.
Yeah, but what all musicians played, Earl Taylor and all that kind of music.
Oh, swamp pop.
Swamp pop music. He's kept up with all of this.
Sure.
And he had a little sister, Kathy. Good morning to all of you. And Miss Matilde was spoiled by her husband, Herman Fuselier Sr. He had his own mechanic shop on Railroad Avenue, worked basically 7 days a week, and every 2 or 3 years he'd buy her a new Cadillac with a personalized license plate, Matilde. And wonderful neighbors, and I recognize a few other names in here. Chris Wartell, her mama, Ray Logan, mother of Chris Wartell, Society and Causes. Oh, you know Ray? Oh, okay. And of course, you probably know Chris. Anyhow, it was a good addition, and got to talk and brag on my former neighbor. She passed away a few years ago. And had a good story. Last Saturday afternoon, I was arriving over at Vicky's house, and there were 2 young ladies sitting in one of the, I guess, Kubota or whatever, Polaris type four-wheeler side by side. And the cousins, it was 2 of Vicky's cousins, Carla and Allison. Carla had a little story to tell to me. She says, Bobby, I'm glad I got to see you. You've got to hear this story about what your mayor did for us in Opelousas. I said, really? She said, yeah. We had taken the school kids. She teaches at a little elementary school in Mansura, right off of Highway 1 there. And on the way back, 18-wheeler driver kept blowing the horn and pointing to the back of the bus, and finally got the bus driver's attention that there was a problem. So they exited over on Crestwell. They were heading north on I-49. They exited there and got by the Civic Center, and they stopped, and the truck driver stopped to assist some more. Don't know his name, but also about the same time, the mayor of Opelousas, Reggie Tatum, comes along. He and others get the bus onto the Civic Center property there. He says, well, look, y'all can't keep these kids in here waiting for their parents and their guardians to come from Mansura and Baudelainville and all that area to pick up their children. They had a busload of them.
Yeah.
He says, we'll open up the Civic Center for you, let them play and do what they have to do, the good bathroom, provided some water for them.
Get out of the heat.
And she says, it's unbelievable. He had another affair to go to, so he left, but he says, just close the door tight when you leave. I'll come back later and make sure that, you know, the lights and everything. Don't worry about turning the lights off. You know how you multiple switches on these big buildings like that. But she says, only God could have brought him along, and the type of hospitality. So anyhow, Reggie, good job, and I saw where you got a little raise today in the newspaper, and really what you're doing is getting basically the salary that was
put in line where it should be.
What the previous mayor used to get. So anyhow, that'll all work out hopefully, because you're doing
Reggie's doing a fantastic job.
And spending so much time on the job, and he's been like that all his life. It's not going to be hit and run. You know, now he's got his raise, you won't see him and all of that. If they hadn't given him the raise, he would still be doing the job.
Yeah.
He's dedicated. But anyhow.
And Reggie, Saturday night, we're going to be at Evangeline Downs in Zydeco's. Come in and sing a song with us. You know your song.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure he goes to the track and visits a lot of people
comes and sees us out there.
Area. Race horses like yours truly. I've got something running tonight. Easy Jazz, Mr. Joe Rink, and I claimed Easy Jazz. He's had Easy Jazz once or twice before. He's one of these horses that gets claimed over and over.
Right.
And so anyhow, he's running tonight. He's pretty sound horse. He's about maybe 8 years old. Yeah. Still running good.
Wow.
Once they get to past that 4 year and all of that, then they learn how not to hurt themselves.
Yeah.
They know when to run. They don't have to be whipped and all of that. They know at a certain point, now this is my turn, either out of the gates or at the final, the last furlong. That's when the race starts for some, and some started at the gate. So it's...
I don't know, 8 years old, that's a long time for a horse to be running. When I was 8 years old, I was done.
Yeah, but you weren't a little horse. So. Anyhow, good story. What else we have here?
Well, we're going to take a quick little break, and when we come back, we'll get to the rest of it.
We already time for the first break. Okay, good.
See you in 1 minute.
1 minute. Welcome back to the second quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show, along with my sidekick, Matt LeBlanc. And we want to get a couple of our good sponsors that make all of this available to the public at no cost.
You were talking about Mother's Day, and one of the biggest things that gets hit right at Mother's Day was also the grocery stores for the grills, but the restaurants, Steamboat. And Steve was just in here talking about how he took his wife over to the Steamboat Warehouse restaurant on Mother's Day.
And how they enjoyed it.
And how they enjoyed it, absolutely. So it doesn't have to be Mother's Day. It doesn't have to be any special occasion. But the Steamboat Warehouse is
it'll make it a special.
It will make it a special occasion.
The ambiance will make it a special
That's a good word.
occasion.
That's
I learned that from one of my exes.
But like Andrew used to say, get mama away from the smell of her own kitchen. Take her to Steamboat Warehouse. You won't regret it. Go to their website, steamboatwarehouserestaurant.com, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's steamboatwarehouserestaurant.com.
Specials, which are good.
And it's a great website. You can really see the place there too, and see the beauty of the property. Absolutely gorgeous place. So go see them over at Steamboat Warehouse Restaurant and tell Jason Huguet we said hi. LHC Group. The LHC group is there for all, actually they're all about helping people, so they're there for all the staffing needs, all the medical
Home
needs,
service
home
needs.
service of these hospitals
Home
and all of these medical placements that they do. So LHC group has been providing service to this area for how long now?
Is it 25 years?
Yeah, it's been about 25
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
and they've grown so much. They're all over the country now, and they've got services like health and hospice care. They just opened up the new building on Heather Drive, Louisiana Hospice and Palliative Care. Right next door to that, they've got their health club, Louisiana Healthcare Health and Wellness Center, and so you can go there and of course get a good workout, use the pools, indoor pools, outdoor pools.
And they'll help you work up a program for
Absolutely.
your needs, not the next person's needs, your particular needs.
Absolutely.
They'll assist
So
you when you're getting started.
They are there here for the community. It's all about helping people. Louisiana Healthcare Group, LHC.com. Visit them online. And let's do one more. Get it right here. And let's talk about our good buddies over at Dixie Storage in Port Barre. That's the main location. And
Mr. Joey Doucette.
Joey Doucette is located in Port Barre, Opelousas, Washington.
That business continues to grow.
It does. A lot of
Continues to
concrete.
grow. Yep. It's hard to believe that for many, many years there were literally no commercial warehouse space to be leased or rented in St. Landry Parish. And today they themselves have about, 1 million square
Over
foot?
1 million square
foot. Foot of space to either lease or rent out. And that's all because of one man's ideas and vision.
Mr.
He
Randolph
had a
McCormick.
business mind that could see ahead of time, and left behind a legacy that'll continue on for years and years. And they are good people to do business with. If you need a personal need for some sort of a facility, talk to Joey Doucette himself, and I'm sure he'll, if he can't assist you, he'll be able to lead you where you can get what you need.
He'll
'cause
direct you.
That is correct. Good people to do business.
DixieStorage.com.
All right, let's get let me get a few obits here.
Sure.
We have today. I learned that from Joe Fred. I saw the name in the newspaper, and I just wanted to make sure. It was Joe Fred's sister-in-law, Patsy Manuel Gotchaw, died. He says she was 84. The newspaper says she's 82, but she's in her 80s. She died Tuesday around 8 a.m. in the morning on the 12th, May the 12th. She leaves behind 3 children, 2 sons, Cody and Richard, and 1 daughter, Kathy. And I knew Patsy Manuel Gotchaw ever since she was a young lady. They would they'd buy their cold drinks and candy and cut up in the school cafe that Mom and Daddy had, and I helped them there. And I saw them; they were older than me, so I remember who they were. And her daddy was a Mr. Manuel, and he was a car salesman over at Bordelon Motors, and for many, many years. So I knew the whole family. My deepest sympathies. Not sure exactly the arrangements for the funeral home. And I read a name of Adrian Elise Lahaye, age 94, died. And that name and age fits in with Dr. Chip Lahaye, the eye surgeon, the noted eye surgeon, I might add. And Melanson Funeral Home is handling the arrangements in Opelousas. I'm not sure. I'm not saying it's Miss Adrian that I knew, but I didn't have much time today to look into it. But if it is, our very deepest of sympathies. And a young man who passed away a few days back, imagine his body was cremated or offered up to science, one or the other, died April 20th, but the gravesite service be held this Friday, May the 13th. That's, that's this Friday at the St. Landry Cemetery. Deacon Sammy Deasy will officiate. He was born in Opelousas, attended AIC, and graduated from UL in commercial and fine arts. And you said you knew
I knew Earl.
Earl. And how did you know him?
I knew him through the Rotary Club. He was a member of the Rotary Club in Opelousas, and he had a big part in the last couple of Rotary Club auctions that we put on.
Okay, got that one.
Talented artist, by the way.
Mr. Ronis J. Fontenot from Port Barry. You might know Mr. Fontenot.
I probably do.
I met him through politics. He loved politics, and it says here he loved boxing, and he loved his family and friends, and he liked to go drink coffee at the King's Truck Stop. All of that is correct.
Oh, yeah.
And anyhow, my deepest sympathies, we lost a good political supporter there. It looks like we were always on the same team. My deepest sympathies to his family. And Miss Juanita Andrus Ballou. I can't pronounce, I'm not pronouncing it.
I haven't seen that last name.
Well, I knew her. I knew she was a nurse. Miss Juanita was a nurse, and her husband was Barry. And I remember they had a daughter back. Now, this is going back into the 60s, early 60s, mid 60s, when I remembered her and her husband, and I'm pretty sure they had a daughter. I think Miss Juanita would talk about her daughter. My deepest sympathies to the family and friends of Miss Juanita, wonderful person. And another person who died was well known, and I didn't put 87, age 87. I'm talking about Dr. Percy Christian, better known as Chris, to his close friends. And that the funeral is being held today as we speak, 11 a.m. At Sabia Funeral Home Chapel in Opelousas. Of course, his son has practiced eye care doctor. He's a doctor of eye care. Van is the one that I know the best. And his wife, Miss Wilda Savoy Christian, from Eunice, that would not have been his first wife. That's not the wife of the children, but they had been married for many years. My deepest sympathies. Miss Flo used to work there. Miss Flo and I were in school together. I don't know if we were in the same Flo Domingue. But funny how that old time, long ago, names come up. She worked, she worked diligently for him for many years. Our deepest sympathies to Dr. Christian and his family. And I believe that just about takes care of my obituaries, unless I find one more in here. You want to
do some pictures?
Just do a few pictures, if you don't mind.
That's fine. Well, we have a couple of pictures that we didn't get to last week, so let's kind of pull those up and go through those. We got a car up on some stilts.
Yeah, well, that's up in the air. That was around, yeah, it looks like stilts. You're right. The poles there. That was on the way between Vidalia and that would have been
around
Winfield.
Winfield,
yeah, that would have been Wynn Parish. That's the big white tower.
Yeah,
water
the big
tower.
white water tower. I think I have a picture of that, actually.
Well, we had it next to this, but then we changed dates. We showed it.
I think we showed it last week.
We showed it last week. Yep. Big, tall, white, very unusual. First time I'd ever seen a water tower like that.
But you were up there, what, at the camp?
At the camp. Was working my way to the camp, and that's our little bunkhouse. Ray Bello and I share that.
What's the star on the door? That means you're a TV star?
The star?
Or is that a sheriff's star?
That's Sheriff Bobby Gitro's star. That's
and
our
y'all
protection.
Cooked out?
We're cooking out. Yep, that was we cooked steaks right there on that, like that.
I was talking to Frankie Mouton this weekend, and he was telling me that he was telling me about those camps.
Yep. Frankie was a member for quite a while.
Yep. And then you.
This young lady, and I left my names. She was talking with Jimmy Prados.
I could see Jimmy's reflection in the mirror.
Yeah, And we talked about her last week.
Did we?
Or you mentioned Jimmy's picture.
Well, you and I did when we looked at the
when
pictures.
we were looking at the
Yeah.
pictures. Anyhow, they knew the coach where she was from, and that was Oak Grove, Louisiana. And I couldn't think of the name, but the name that I was trying to was Clifton Gerald. Or Gerald, yeah, Clifton Gerald. He was a boxer. I boxed him when I was in the 8th grade. So he'd be older than this lady, but she ought to recognize it. And I'll come back with that name next week. I apologize. That paper. And I wanted
That's cute.
Kelly. And Kelly, by the way, good morning, my daughter Kelly. She's got a speaker system set up to her computer, and also she'll be able to watch the program more often.
It keeps giving you ideas, Kelly.
Yeah, I've been giving you ideas, and this is one of the ideas that we want you to make us an Opelousas
there you go.
little sign like that. Very
That's
simple.
a good idea, actually.
Yeah, very cute. That's where they have that lady was showing some of her wares that she had to sell.
Because I think they have another sign right here too.
Yeah, well, that's the same sign. That's a
Oh,
different,
is it? Oh, different
view,
angle.
different angle, different view of it. And that's Jimmy on the left and Sam Cipriano on the right. And
you got a one-arm bandit.
one-arm
right there.
bandit right here. There's about they were permitted to drill 60 wells on this tract of land where we hunt. And I don't know that they did more than about 30. Then the oil price went down. But as soon as it kind of climbs back up, they're going to finish the rest because they permitted for it. And they've already cleared most of the areas where the wells are going to be drilled.
Yeah.
They already went in with dozers and cleared it all up and set the pads and everything. Little arrows to point to the drillers where to stop and look, and it's all pointed, all done
Oil
up.
here.
Yep. Oil is here.
Now, that covers our pictures from last week, but see, you had a nice dessert this week somewhere.
Yeah, boy, I remember that was so good. What?
It looks good.
Oh, Lordy, and I can't remember where.
I wish you could, because I'd go get one.
Oh, I think, would that have been?
You got two
No.
pictures of it, so you must have been happy.
No, it was delicious. You can look at it and tell that.
Oh, it sure does.
Maybe the next picture will tell me.
Maybe
where
they'll tell you, huh?
Okay, this is Preston Charles, and that's not your
my grandpa?
grandfather. That's not your grandfather. This Preston Charles works at Opelousas General, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And then the next picture is Miss Shamika.
There
There she is. Look at that smile. She didn't want to take a picture. I said, "You have the best smile I can show for the whole day, Shamika."
Yeah.
So she said, "Okay, Mr. Bobby, that's good." She says, "Mr. Preston said that you're okay." Well, you know, you just meet somebody like that, and he wants to take a picture and put it on TV. You know, you want to know a little bit about the background.
She does have a pretty
yeah,
smile.
Oh, she has a beautiful smile.
And if Preston said it was okay, then you know it's okay.
Then it was okay. That's right.
Well, you know what? We got another break we're going to take right here, because the next couple of pictures, you kind of all one event that happened,
Yeah.
and we want to give that a little bit of time, it looks like, because that was an adventure for you. So we'll be back in 1 minute.
Okay, welcome back to the third quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show, along with my sidekick, Mr. Matt LeBlanc. And we'll tell them that pretty soon. They're going to all know the name and the face, and they'll be bothering you when you're on the road. And if y'all have...
I get it every now and then.
Yeah. Why don't you give them your how they can text something to you or...
Well, I mean, you can reach me if you go to our website, the kdcg.com. There's a contact on there, or if you have any questions or comments, whatever, you can post them right on there. Also on our KDCG Facebook, you can post anything on there and reach me there, or you can send me an email at mleblanc@deltamediacorp.com. Send me an email there, and I'll get everything you need.
I want you to be bothered a little bit like Andrew used to be bothered and how I'm bothered, but it's not a bother.
Not at all.
I'm really picking.
No.
We like to get those messages of, especially like deaths and all that, because
Sure.
the timing is so, you know, if they died somewhere in the last few days, if I can get it, you can possibly, I can give it in time for the wake that's taking
Sure.
place and
Absolutely.
the services that are held wherever it held and the burial and all. So
Absolutely.
we like to do that because, you know, when you lose that mom or that daddy, you've lost a whole lot. And I just think of little things that I do now and then, and I think about it that I learned how to do those things and how to talk to people with Mom and Daddy. We're always very careful. They never used the N-word around our house. They didn't curse or anything like that. And it's not often you're going to hear me curse or get upset very easily because Mom and Daddy were cool.
Well, it's all about the upbringing. All about it.
I call it you learning through osmosis. It's just soaking in. And if the home environment is good, it's a good chance that your children are learning just like you doing. If you kind of raise hell and you curse a lot, don't be surprised if your children, it's hard for you to slap them on the hand or slap them on the mouth because they're cursing or they not saying the right things about other people. If you're doing the same thing, they might not tell you, well, you do it. They might not tell you, but in their mind, they're telling themselves, well, I'll do it when I'm not around them.
That's that old saying, you reap what you sow.
Okay, enough preaching, Bobby. I went over to Liz's Curio shop on the old Sunset Highway, Liz Durio, and met a cousin of mine. J.J. Little came in, and his grandmother was Lois Artigo Little, married to Buck Little. And J.J.'s daddy is Reggie, again, my cousin. And we visited, and he had picked up a little Mother's Day gift that Liz, I guess, had contacted, or he had contacted Liz, and she had found something that he was looking for his wife in the antique line of goods. And she's got all kind of things. That building and that yard is just full of things. Liz, you do a good job. You work hard, babe. And and she sells some of the bird cages and all for Kelly. So helps out there too. And a young lady that was there, and she was quick to kind of tell me her name was Natalie Fontenot Olivier. And she said, I'm originally from Grand Prairie. Well, I said, what about the Earl Fontenot family? She said, that's my grandpa.
Oh, okay.
And I think she knew that I was her cousin because Earl Fontenot is about a second cousin of mine. And that's the sweet potato man.
Oh, yeah.
I go and pick up all the sweet potatoes every year. Now it's his two sons that run the business, but he's still there. And he's not, you know, too lively, but, you know, he's feeling his age. He's into his 90s.
Yeah.
And it's taken a toll, and I promised her I'd go visit. So I've got to go and see cousin. He always called Mama Cousin Jeanette. And every year he would bring Mama a crate of potatoes when he used to have his packing plant in Opelousas. That's the kind of person he is.
Where's the packing plant now?
Now it's in Faubourg. That's just when you leaving St. Landry Parish into Evangeline Parish. That's where they farm, and they farm acreage. And most of the potatoes that they sell, they kind of have to raise them themselves today.
I'm almost positive that I knew I know Mr. Fontenot from a long time ago.
Well, you know his son is the veterinarian on the old Port Barry Highway, John.
Okay.
That's
well,
one of
that
the
I
sons.
didn't know.
Yep.
That I didn't know, but I think I knew Mr. Earl.
So if y'all need a good veterinarian,
there you go.
For your animals, there he is, John, and comes from good upbringing.
But if you need a special tool, or perhaps pipe, or black pipe, or galvanized pipe, electrical wire, fencing, poultry netting, hardware cloths, welding wire, bicycle, rope, shovel, paint, kitchen supplies, whatever you can think of, go see J.B. Sandoz. J.B. Sandoz has everything you can possibly think of under that one roof. And barbecue pits.
And the business is only 135
No,
years.
it's brand new, just 135 years old.
Brand new. And but everything they have in there that they sell is brand new. And you can buy nuts and bolts. Just if you need two of them, you can get two. You just go grab what you want. They'll have somebody that's going to greet you at the door just about every time.
And they really help you.
Bring you right to the place.
Exactly.
And they know the products that they sell.
Great place for a wedding registry too, I might add.
Neil, take good care of yourself, young man.
Go
Thanks
see
for
him
being
at
one of our good
JB
sponsors.
Sandoz. And while you're on that end, why don't you go by and visit Quarters Casino, a little bit north of Opelousas.
Exit 23.
There you go, exit 23.
That's what
I
I'm
don't know
on.
my exit numbers. I just recognize them by sight. He knows his numbers.
We use that one.
Yeah?
Yeah, and then across the street on exit 23 is the St. Landry Parish Tourism Office.
That's right. That's right. It's directly across the interstate from
Miss
that.
Gomez and her staff there.
Yeah, a neat place to visit, but make sure you go get some good, authentic Mexican food over at El Pico de Gallo Mexican Restaurant. You know, Cinco de Mayo's passed already, but that's no excuse. You can still go get some good Mexican food. They also have a Subway there. They also have the Hunt Brothers Pizza and great Chevron fuel. So go see them at Quarters
Gas
Casino
and
and
diesel
Restaurant.
and the big 18-wheelers. They have
There's a scale there
beautiful
for 'em.
setup. They have a scale.
Yep.
That's one of the few around.
Yep.
Other than our
Dixie Storage.
Dixie Storage has
Yep.
a scale, a registered, certified scale. And they have a big area to park the 18-wheelers. Safe, you never hear of any problems going on over there. It's well lit. They have air hoses for each what you call it?
Stall or whatever, yeah.
Each one has its own
Bay.
base.
There you go.
Bay.
Its own
That's
bay.
correct. Own
There you
bay.
go.
We'll get it if we just.
And don't forget the slot machines too. Plenty of video poker machines for you to try your luck at there.
Yes, sir. You're right. Okay, St. Landry Parish deputy has gone viral. Well, you read that and
got a virus?
Yeah, we're talking about Lieutenant Clay Higgins with the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office, and his no-nonsense description of a crime that's taken place in Acadiana, more particularly in St. Landry Parish. He has a style of his own.
A style of his own.
To bring the news to you, and he's got thousands of hits on his weekly program that he does, and of course he's also the spokesman for the sheriff's office when other activities, accidents happen, crimes happen, flooding takes place in a certain area. He's the man that goes before the camera and gives a no-nonsense description of what has taken place. So I can't say that I really know him. I've seen him.
And I should, because it's Port Barry. You worked in Port Barry, you worked in Opelousas.
Yeah, it looks like I would have, and maybe I didn't. Maybe he didn't have that hat on, and I don't
Maybe not.
recognize him. He's got his own style of hat.
You know, he looked like a state trooper kind of.
Yeah,
You know?
that's correct. Or Mountie,
Mountie.
Smoky, the Smoky. You know the.
Oh yeah.
Smoky.
Yeah.
Yep. So anyhow, very interesting, and good luck to you. And actually, one of the HBO divisions came down and did some filming, and this will be shown on worldwide.
On their program Vice.
Programming. And of course, this programming here is worldwide also. So let's not let them think that they have anything that we didn't
Little
get
old
started.
small HBO, huh?
In fact, yeah, HBO is getting started. We've been started, but we have made a claim over the years that we were one of the first, if not the first in the nation to do streaming.
Right, live streaming while it was going on.
While it's going on. This little bitty station, KDCG Television, was doing that when the big boys felt it wasn't profitable.
Right.
Now they see that this is taking over in a large manner, so they've got to get that out there, and a lot of them use a secondary station to do that. And of course, we have some stations that we could use, that are approved, that was sold along with the package, if I recall correctly.
You have some call letters, right?
Yeah. And of course, a good way to catch us on your old-time antenna or a television with a rabbit ear is 50.2
50.2 or 22.1, but 50.2 is the
strongest station, and you can catch that way away from here.
Oh yeah, it's full power.
Full power. So another way, and I want to get a couple of those little antennas that Vincent Wiltz talked to me about.
Right.
Getting very inexpensive, easy to put up, and you can adapt it to your television you have at your house now.
Sure.
Okay, let's see some more pictures.
Sure. Let's talk about what happened to you yesterday, huh?
Yesterday, well, yeah, we had a little fender bender. I was riding with my friend Don Stemmons. We were on the way to HBPA.
Look at that. Well, that's right. And you were riding. That's right in your door, too.
Right in the door
you
there.
took the hit.
Lucky I'm walking today like I am.
You.
I was
You're
a little
not sore
this
at all?
morning. Well, I was sore this morning, but you know, I'm trying to be tough. I don't want to complain. There was no visible injuries.
Cool.
And this little car, these little plastic cars they sell today,
Yeah.
they kind of fall apart on you.
I'll tell you what, though.
You see, that's Don in the back. We
Yeah.
had to sit there waiting, but we were lucky. The guy that goes with the big signs to warn you that there's an accident up front and gives you an hour to use another lane. I don't know where he was, but he showed up right after the accident. And very nice guy.
I think that looks a whole lot worse than actually. It looked like it just peeled the bumper off, really.
Yeah,
The frame looks pretty intact. His hood's not bent, it looks like.
No, it's.
But it looks bad.
But it looks bad.
Oh,
That's
it looks
right.
bad.
Looks bad. And then this was the third vehicle in the accident. And
Oh, was that a 3-car?
Well,
Man.
I said I thought I saw another little white car take off. You know, he got kind of into it, but apparently didn't feel he had enough enough damage.
Didn't want to waste his time.
I don't know if I'm correct or not, but the older gentleman that owned that car we just showed from the back, and here's a very, very efficient young lady working for, I guess that's Baton Rouge Police Department.
Yeah.
We were on top of the Mississippi River
Oh, that's
bridge.
what I was going to ask if you were on the bridge. I see the
were
rails.
on the bridge, yes,
oh,
sir. Yeah.
my wife would be scared to death.
Not a good place to have an accident. And let me tell you, that just because we were off on the side of the road, those big trucks and cars were
they
flying
don't
by
slow
at
down.
45 miles an hour.
I've seen a
They
couple of
running.
wrecks on that bridge.
They're running.
Yeah,
But
it's a
anyhow, this
scary
little lady
situation.
did a very nice job. She gave everybody information. Don had to fill out papers. The other two parties had to fill out papers. They switched the information. And I might add that Progressive, who insures Don, was already calling Don to tell him that they were going to look at the vehicle and make estimates and all that. And they got my name and number, and they're going to be contacting me to see if I'm injured or what I know about the accident. It happened so fast. It's hard to say just who's right. You asked me who's right and who's wrong. I don't say we're wrong, but I can't say we're right. I don't know. There might be one of those accidents where each party
shares a little bit of the liability.
According to the percentage that the adjusters and the attorneys, I don't think there'll be any attorneys on this, but if there is, they'll figure out who's what. And
good thing is nobody got hurt.
In that bad little car, the young man was driving that was his girlfriend's car. They came, the girlfriend and her mama came, and they gave us a ride to TJ Ribs, and we met up with the president of HBPA Association Group, Bernard Chatters. He was coming in from Lake Charles, and we knew he was in the back because he had called Don. So we called him up and told him, so he waved at us, and he met us at TJ Ribs. He waited there, out of the way. We could have just had him pull up in front, but at the time we wasn't thinking about all of that. Right. So anyhow, we went to the meeting. We got there 5 minutes late, and it didn't start because I called them up and told them we were around the corner, and had a pretty long, extensive meeting, and it was very important. We needed a executive director to be chosen, and the group went unanimously with Ed Fanassi. And I've felt good about Ed and his leadership and his knowledge of our whole, if you want to call it a company, all the parts that make up the retirement, the medical fund, the workers' compensation fund, everything, all the off-track betting, off-track offices that sit out there. He knows all the employees, and we handled between $90 and $100 million a year of funds for the purse money. Yeah. And so it's a very, very important part of state facilities. And the horse industry is a $2 billion industry, if not more. And we are being kind of attacked on different edges. And
You're always gonna.
We have a good organization. We've got good members. We all seem to be getting along real well. It kind of started off kind of bumpy, but looks like the new group is doing well. And you punching me on the leg, and it's time for me to stop and take a break, and we'll be back in 1 minute. Welcome back to the fourth quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show, and I find that it went pretty smooth so far.
Yeah, going real smooth.
If you'll get what you have, about 2 more sponsors.
Yeah, we got 2 more sponsors. Let's talk about Kip Bertrand and St. Landry Homestead over in Opelousas, Port Barre, Eunice. We'll find their graphic here.
And of course, you can do business with them no matter where you are.
Online.
Online, internet.
Online. That's how I like to do it. You just go to www.stlandryhomestead.com and you
I
can
like that old
participate.
paper trail, but then again, look at my age.
Well,
the paper trail age.
They have it for everybody. You can go
and
in and meet
it
with a
makes
banker.
paper
I can do it
trail.
on the web.
I just don't know how to turn on a computer yet. And by the way, I have a computer that was sent to me by the boxing commission, and I'm going to attend the boxing commission meeting when I leave here. Y'all don't think I have a busy life?
It runs.
I never stop. But that's good. It keeps me running,
keeps you
and
young.
keeps me happy, and y'all are so nice to me when y'all meet up with me, make me feel good, and rejuvenates me into the next day and the next day, and hopefully in days to come, I'll be around visiting
Idle
with
hands,
you all.
you know.
That's
Idle
right.
hands are the devil's plaything.
And we have a few pictures that we want to show you.
We want to talk about one more here. We got to talk about Carl over at Carl's Thrifty Way in Opelousas.
Yeah, that's where I pick up my medication.
Carl's, do you text in to do your medication?
No, I haven't done that yet. Yeah, I call and they recognize that voice. They say, Mr. Bobby, what you need today? And I give them the numbers. But I could just as easily give them the numbers or text them. I'm going to do that next time.
And try it out.
I'm going to try it out.
See how it works.
Yeah, see if they're on the ball.
Carl will take care of you. If you don't if you don't understand what you're doing, he'll walk you through it.
Walk you through it. Exactly.
Go see him over at Carl's Thrifty Way. Last week after the program, I went straight over there and bought my wife a Mother's Day gift in the gift shop. The gift shop is absolutely incredible. Find anything you want for any occasion, baptisms, weddings, just because is
graduations,
a lot of jewelry. Graduations going on right now.
St. Andrew Parish public schools, I know, the graduation ceremonies are taking place on the Friday night, the 22nd. I don't know about the other, Opelousas Catholic, Westminster. I'm not sure about those across the parish, but the parish public schools, and I'm going to attempt to attend that. I haven't done it in quite a number of years, 7 or 8 years.
I might go too.
I give the, you have a graduate?
Yes, I might go, yeah. My daughter's graduating.
From Opelousas High?
No, from Beauchamp.
Beauchamp, yeah. I think you will be going.
Yeah, I'll go.
I just want to go and visit and hopefully get a chance to take a picture. I've been doing this since
you need to do that.
These scholarships, I've been giving them out since 1968 at Opelousas High, and I give 15 of them out at $500 apiece. And I'd like to have a picture just for my own personal use. And if I ever write that book, it would be proof that I did it. And I'm sure Dr. Rodney Johnson, the principal, could arrange that for me if I talked to him about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, we've got a couple more pictures right here. Let's take a look at these. You got a new addition to the family here?
Yes, sir. That is Renee. Remember, we showed Renee recently when she was attending the wedding of her sister in New Orleans recently. Well, Renee was expecting, and here is the proof of it. Patrick
Dugan.
Kelly, and the last name is Dugan. Okay, good. And Renee, of course, is the daughter of Reggie and Marie, and I'm sure Miss Marie is over there helping out, taking care of the babies. They usually do that.
Sure.
The mamas like to go in there and kind of teach them how to hold that baby and everything, but it looks like she already knows. The people today, they go to classes and everything else. And she lives in Houston, and was made sure that I told Megan, my Megan, that if she needed anything at any time, here's her phone number, and call me, and I'll try to help you whichever way I can. And of course, that's cousins, you know.
Sure.
And the grandparents, of course, are on Marie's side is Dr. Joe Martinez and Frida.
Okay.
And Frida is Maya, Frida Maya. And then Cody and Wilda is Reggie's mama and daddy.
Right.
So proud grandparents.
Absolutely.
And we might add that now at the best crawfish that I've been able to eat this year, and I apologize for it being, they had enough light, but this iPad, as I've mentioned in the past, doesn't have a flash, but these are pretty good. Good picture of Raymond and Lisa Aguilar gave this crawfish ball for the Century 21 sales agents and employees, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. Vicki and I were invited and attended, and everybody you can see there was showing off their good time. And actually it was Raymond's brother-in-law, and it was Charles Aguilar, Raymond's daddy, that was his son-in-law that was doing the cooking. He doesn't cater except for, you know, his family and immediate, you know, friends and family. He doesn't do it commercially,
Okay.
but he does raise his own crawfish. And they were big and they were seasoned, and he didn't cook them and put them in boxes a long time where they kind of start cooling off and all of that. As the crowd wanted some more, he was cooking them hot right out of the, boy, it was delicious.
I had some good crawfish
and
Sunday,
That
too.
backyard is just unbelievable. They've got some oak trees that are well over 100 years old.
Wow.
And just huge. And the backyard leads into the backyards of his mama and daddy.
Oh.
So it's one big piece of land.
Yeah.
And it's an older home that was actually in the family. It was the grandparents' home, and then they had owned it, and then they had sold it, and then it came back on the market, and they bought it back and moved back and got rid of the new modern home and got back into the big, older, comfortable home with those gorgeous oak trees in the backyard. You could have a party there. I asked them if they're going to be balling these crawfish every week for us.
Invite me.
Anyhow, thanks a lot. Y'all did a great job. And I enjoyed visiting with all the brokers and agents.
Now, for once,
Okay.
we've gotten through all of your pictures.
Really?
We sure have.
And I didn't take a picture of this because it was kind of small, but Kathleen and Richard Hike. Richard Hike is Judge Richard Hike,
Okay.
federal Judge Richard Hike, who is a heck of a nice, both he and his wife, super people. I met them really through their attendance at church at the Point, Cibermore
Okay.
Point. They had a camp there. Now they're on 3 Mile Lake.
Huh.
They moved to
following you around.
quite a place, and they were attending a Lafayette Education Foundation's reprom. Goes country western. I don't know what the reprom is. I guess that's
It's a
for
prom
adults.
after, prom for adults.
For adults. I guess the mamas and the daddies and the grandpas and the grandmas attend this one. But saw several people that I recognize, and of course Purvis and Mary Morrison.
Yeah, that's Purvis.
The mayor of that would be Scott.
Right.
He's everywhere. As this
He's
guy.
everywhere. And I tell you what, she is great too. Mary is
Oh,
just
you
an
know
absolute,
Mary?
absolute wonderful person and pleasure to talk to.
So anyhow, nice, interesting, and I see where proud to be an American, Pharaoh, who won the Kentucky Derby last week. He, of course, is going to be the favorite for the next race coming up, and that is the
Belmont?
no. Belmont is the last race. I had it right there. He's going to be the heavy favorite. And I had it.
And that would be for the Triple Crown if he wins all three of those?
Yeah, that's correct. Preakness, the
Preakness. That's right.
He says that American Pharoah is made for the Preakness.
Yeah.
It's a little shorter race. The first race is 1.25 miles.
Okay.
The second race, the Preakness, is 1.125 miles, a little bit shorter, 1/8 of a mile shorter. And then the Belmont is where you separate the men from the boys and the boys from the boys, from the men.
Right.
And that is 1.5 miles.
Oh.
So you've really got to be tough in that short 5-week period of time to be able to come back. That's going to be next weekend. It'll be the Preakness, if I'm not mistaken. And then they get about a 2 or 3, maybe a 3-week rest to go to the Belmont, because several of the horses that run in all 3 of them make all 3 races. So they give them a little bit longer, or an extra week, if I'm not mistaken,
Sure.
to rest up. But it was a great race, and Jim and Babs said they just had a blast.
Yeah.
It was a ton of
Sure,
fun.
it's something to see.
And my friend that gave me the advice on firing line, I should have bet it because it came out second.
Oh.
And what are we, time?
Time to get the prayer book out. Our thought for the day.
Okay, and the prayer book, we're going to use this prayer here. God of love, you have given me everything, including yourself. I want to give you everything I have. This weekend, like every weekend, Matt and I ask you to consider attending the church of your choice. Thank you. Have a nice weekend. Thank you, Matt, for your assistance.